자, 일단 어제 이어서 설명을 하면 저희가 용의자 신문은 다 마쳤거든요? 용의자 신문은 다 마친 상태인데 이제 이어서 본격적으로 좀 퍼즐을 맞춰보도록 할게요.
That's all
용의자
the statements
진술.
collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
어제 못 보신
Fitz
분들
and
계실
I
테니까
were
한번
up in the
볼게요.
moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it, until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me.
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
이렇게까지가 이제 진술을 다 합쳐놓은
All the
건데
statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
약간 서로 우리 둘은 결백해요 약간 맞아요 쟤 결백해요 약간 이런 식인 것 같아가지고 일단은 어제 제가 좀 이상한데 라고 한 게 이 아저씨가 아빠거든요? 근데 분명 옥상에서 내려오는 소리를 2명을 들었다고 했는데 진술에는 1명을 얘기해서 증언을 할 수는 없나?
Goodness me! That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue. My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why
아빠가
it's
좀
looked like
되게
that?
수상한데
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
약간 수상해요. 뭐 들이댈 게 없네. 잠깐 일단 그러면 이 여자가 좀 잘 얘기해 주거든요. 안 들이댄 거 있으면 한번 들이대보자.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
추자팡 모시기요?
Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
들이대.
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
어?
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime
왜 자꾸
before
모르는 척하지?
Fiona settled on her current style. Lovely.
여기서 뭘 더 해야 되는 거지? 이건 뭔데? 이게 안 떴어요 아직. 뭘 더 해야 저게 뜨는 것 같아, 그치? 그래서 일단은 좀 돌아다녀 보자. 저 옆에 뭐가 더 떠야 되는 것 같은데 안 뜨고 있어. 일단은
You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
어?
Why?
딱정벌레를
For
키웠대.
fun, obviously.
아, 근데 얘도 다 해가지고 혐이 저게 안 떠있는 사람들을 좀 둘러볼까요? 요거 안 풀린 사람들을 좀 보자.
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
왜 모르는 척 하는 걸까?
That's quite sweet, really. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it.
It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story.
아, 들이댈 만한 거 다
That looks
들이댄
like
거
it might belong
같은데.
to Poppy. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
저게 퍼필 거면은 이것도
Any
퍼필하는
idea
걸
who this
알아야
is?
되는 거 아니야?
No. Felix made that? Huh.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding it.
What?
When we went into Flora's room,
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
she wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor.
어?
How odd. Paints are different.
I'd say so.
At any time, with paint, not even the most... There's something...
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
어? 플로라 방을 한번 보라고? 아 여긴 제 방인데? 피치 방이고 여긴가? 여기 피피 방인데? 아 여기 페니 방인데? 플로라 방이 어디야? 여긴 아니잖아요. 이건 탑이잖아.
Do you know anything about this beetle?
Do you recognize any of these feathers?
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
아, 씨, 아무 말도 안 하는데.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies?
아니 말 좀 해. 왜 아무 말도 안 하는 거야? 여기 아닌가? 아 여기 다시 살펴봐야 되나?
Freya's painting supplies.
다 깨져 있었고. 이거 왜 깨져 있어요?
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
아, 아우 답답해. 팬이한테 이 편지 보여줬었나? 이거 안 보여줬네?
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities. Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent.
억양이 진짜 독특해, 그죠?
How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene. Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? I thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her. Oh, that's rather sad. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
그거랑 어디서 비교해요?
Freya's painting supplies. Freya's painting supplies.
그러니까 이거 색이랑 여기 있는 색이 다르기는 한데 이거를 어디다가 들이대는 건데?
Freya's painting supplies. There it is. The unfinished
So,
looks that way.
그 지금 추측해서 얘기하시는 거죠? 이거 뭐 어떻게 들이댈 데가 없는 것 같아. 오케이 오케이. 편지가 뭐가 있을 것 같은데.
Freya would always load up the pallet with all the. I think it helped like getting all your.
Right. So the blob of black.
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black. Is that supposed to be?
Possibly.
Oh, how nice. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix.
아직 이 그림에 대해서도 안 풀려가지고.
It's a little glass
I
box.
think it's a
Come again.
vivant. See the leaves and twigs might have been for keeping insects.
여기서 키웠나봐. 황금 그거 키웠다가
Freya's
그랬잖아요.
plants. They must not need.
저기서
Freya's
키웠나봐.
bear.
Looks
He's
pretty.
had a rough couple of days. Painting supplies.
그러니까 그 증거를 어디다 들이대야 되는데 누구한테 들이대야 될지 모르겠네요.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
근데 왜 고개를 돌리시는 거죠?
I imagine you don't.
No, but I still He's always curious about what asks me about the birds. He's pretty clued up.
I didn't think there was much overlap.
Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about
Honestly, that would be kind of fun.
뭘 안 한 걸까? 뭘 안 해서 안 뜨는 걸까? 야, 선생님.
Poppy has remarkable. She could be
I
famous.
should probably have to leave.
Quite. I find her rather embarrassing.
Penny must be at least
27. Just makes it 314. Professor Pointer keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried.
물속에
It was underwater.
있었어요.
Someone trying to
이
conceal
사람도
evidence,
다른
perhaps?
사람한테 고용된 탐정이거든요. 근데 살인 사건이
I
일어나기
believe
전부터
that was
와
in
있었어.
Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last. Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. A photograph of Freya. Could be important. I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented...
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph. Perhaps they just wanted it. These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? 3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. And you consider that important? Where did you find this?
Do you?
Or who might have had
I
it.
have several, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to
어,
share them.
공유해야지. 우리도 공유해주는데 이
Have you
치사하면서.
deciphered the meaning of those four?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. These figurines remind me of a turned out to be a bit of a
Your
smokescreen.
life sounds fun.
Are we?
I'd tell him not to quit, but he hasn't got one. Some breed of amphibious human. Although none of the statues
I
show.
guess. Well,
Do you also have a
well,
pile?
not yet.
One of 3 statues. This one. Perhaps they belong to
They're
someone.
not headphones. They're
Perhaps they belong to someone. Is that a clue?
don't know.
I
It was-
framed my law degree. Doesn't
Same.
딱히
you truly consider?
What's wrong with it?
No organization.
That's my style. I like seeing
How
everything.
quaint.
되게 뭐가 없네.
Sally, check those plants.
Is soil a clue?
What is
I
that?
think it's a family tree.
플로라. 리차드? 피오나. 어디에서 뭘 놓친 걸까? 야,
Name: Penelope Pointer. Likes: birth. Notes: Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her. Name: Poppy Pointer. Apparently, Poppy has defaced my notes, but she has crossed that out and written. Name: Fitzfellow. Likes: soil.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist?
That may well be his preferred label.
Do you and Fitz not?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought.
So what's your problem with?
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was
숨어
also
들어갔대.
carrying a
아!
knife.
엄청 중요한 걸
Name:
알았는데요?
Felix Fellow. Likes: collecting objects of negligible monetary value. Dislikes: the notes. Felix is my father.
And,
I have no point of comparison. But I would say
no?
you asked me a binary. Do not get upset that I provided.
What makes him a bad father?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and name: Percival Pointer.
I'm
Oh
pretty...
yes, of course. How uncharacteristic.
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea. It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what. Who is this her to whom the message...
Well,
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate... Next! An item from
맞고는
Poppy's
기억나니?
childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough
어,
to
왜
ask.
세 명이서 다 친한
You
거
two
아니었어?
are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But...
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
그거
Does
아닌
it
것
anything to
같은데.
do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
관심이 어디에 있는데?
The red paint on the brush is not same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting.
Or blood got on the brush and...
I do not know the answer. I am scared.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable... Now this is... Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern...
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that...
Yeah.
I would not say that, however.
Oh. You wouldn't?
왜 말 안
No,
해줘?
it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all
이거
matter in the
안경이요,
universe,
안경.
living or
본인이
inanimate.
만든 특수 렌즈래.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny, I think.
My argument stands. I require facts.
Well,
Correction. There was no knife found at the crime.
Apart from the one in the painting.
Which, as a mere abstract representation, does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are.
Freya is normally highly skilled, but in this painting, she is accidentally...
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that? Anyway, I'm far more... I performed the test on the red paint myself.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought
Oh.
the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark.
You noticed that just from looking at
Of
it.
course.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something.
Let's ask him about it.
물어보러 갑시다. 새로운 걸 발견했으니까. 야, 솔직하게 얘기해.
So, Fitz,
Fitz.
I have a report that you were
탑에
seen
몰래
sneaking
올라가는
up
걸 봤다는
Pointer
보고가
Tower,
들어왔어요.
holding a
그것도
knife.
칼을 든 채.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife.
아니라고
And I don't
하시겠지.
sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
피피는 피츠를 정말로 봤는데 칼을 든 게
Fifi
아니고 다른
did see
걸
Fitz,
들고 있었던 것
But he
같아요.
was holding something else.
어제 우리가
So, if it
발견했던
wasn't a knife, what was it?
모종삽 아니면 깃털 같은데. 모종삽?
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
피츠가 모종삽을 들고 포인터 탑으로 가야 할 이유는 돌보는데 사용했다. 정원에서 온실에서 아 이건가 봐.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
페니가 저 꽃을
Yes.
잘 돌볼 줄 모른다
I've
그랬잖아.
never seen it before.
응?
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
이 꽃하고 비교할 거? 이거?
That's not right. We need a clue that's got some connection to
이것하고 관련된 거?
Let's take a closer look at these.
이거 맞나 봐요. 아, 이거 흙인가? 온실.
The pot and soil in Flora's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Almost. Maybe just change one.
하나만 바꾸라고?
The pot and soil
이거다.
in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse.
오케이,
Let me
솔직하게
guess.
얘기하시지
Penny's
이제.
flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again when she's not there. Water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
So, Fitz, I have a
뭐 이거 하는데 끝이야? 이게 끝이야? 잠깐만.
I doubt Freya.
Don't you think?
It's Flora. She's an innocent. Poppy's gramophone. As a young child. On account of it belonging.
That's cute.
Oh, yes, adore. Poppy really doesn't take care
It wasn't in Poppy's. It was in the little pond.
Exactly!
방을 봐야 되나?
That's some.
There's something that just feels out of place.
뭘 안 살펴본 걸까요?
Looks like Freya's paint.
Do you know why the
No, that's very odd.
You seem pretty sure about.
I'm as confused. It would have been rather a shame, Freya was...
Nothing about it
Well,
seems.
all these... the emotion of the piece...
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
Knife? That's what
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes.
형상을
Hard to say
왜곡하기도
exactly
한다.
what we're looking at. Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
I've never been one for... Why not ask?
The statue was.
Yes, it's been there. You can see the brass is slightly... It's not too bad. Now this is
What
still...
about those shards on the inside?
Looks like somebody broke a cunning. What's this all?
I'm pretty sure
If it's made of gold, then... Rather ugly. Years of wind and rain have...
Do you know what it is?
It's connected to the Remington... But,
아, 뭘까? 그러게요. 저도 이자카일님하고 얘기를 많이 하면서 놀면 좋겠네요.
I don't trust him.
근데 요즘
He's slippery. Never commits to
바쁘신 것
anything.
같아.
Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman. Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle. Now, of course, she's been... It's a nice gesture, but futile. Poppy's a good friend to my... I think they get on...
Different, like how?
Poppy is, Fiona, still, Poppy...
Heavy price of a...
상사분이 눈치를 엄청 주신다고?
So, What do you
I don't know.
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, holds on to a lot of bitterness. Just because he's always struggled to. Slightly pathetic.
And how long have you...
Over 35.
Childhood friends?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor. My daughter, our little burgeoning...
We did. She's going...
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago. She told me, get this, she wanted an...
What makes you think she made
I
that?
happen to know the real...
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
아, 프레이야를 엄청 좋아했구나.
Quite the cat fellow member.
Is that a real thing?
No, just, you know.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that question. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw. Something called the... Honestly, it's probably...
You reckon?
Quite sure.
How do you know?
Because I...
황금 딱정벌레를 찾는구나.
You're the one.
Let's move on.
I'm still not...
Should we take another look?
Let's come
뭘
back.
해야 할 수 있는 건데 뭔지 모르겠네.
It's a
I
stone.
think it's an egg.
아이고 다녀오세요. 저기요.
Where on earth did you find
It was in a bush outside.
How peculiar. A very old... I'd recommend you... The poor fellow.
다 들이대보자.
I find that...
Oh, yeah?
The knife with... The whole... Poppy's too close. Freya looks so... What a precious... She hasn't changed a bit.
Who?
Oh, if perhaps I don't... Curious creature. Some sort of...
Playing a trumpet.
Playing... Oh, you found
Steady
a...
on. It's
Looks
just...
like a weapon. Fitz seems rather keen to grow...
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't... Makes you wonder. A diary can...
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I But it does. That's rather a small... But then, aren't we... Well now, that is quite possibly... What kind of flower?
I'm not sure. I think it might be the...
Primrose would... My wife was a floriculturalist. That's a flower joke. But she was. I've seen those here. They're the ones Fitz always wears.
Always wears?
Whenever I've seen... I think you may wish to... Oh, my. This is the first piece that Primrose, that is, Poppy... She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her.
Poppy's piano teacher was her
아,
mother.
Of
엄마가
course.
알려주셔서
Warms my heart to
그렇구나.
know that after... That's a very old... Looks like someone could
I
have
like the look of a better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, curious little thing, is You know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment, it was empty.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Freya was well
What
acquainted.
does it look
To
like?
me, it's a big...
What a fascinating
He's
interpretation.
right, though. It is a big...
This looks a little rough. Even by Felix.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it keeps his mind... Here's a thought. After all, it was found at the
I
scene.
guess it's...
Is this important?
Possibly.
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself... Pointer property... Purloined. Typical. I haven't seen that tape. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well. Isn't the
It's not really decayed.
It's become... Not exactly...
It's enough.
딱히 뭐 안 나오네요. 다 물어봤는데. 다 물어봤고.
Bizarre thing.
싹
Penelope
다
seems
물어보자.
I feel sorry for them.
Come now.
싹 다
That looks
물어봐요.
Why would someone...
We think it's a secret.
Aha! Ah, you what? I had to rush the. It turned out all right.
What's it supposed
It's
to
Flora, of course, surrounded by. It's unlike her to leave.
I think we'll give her a pass.
Ah, so we shall. That's one of Freya. It's impressive. But that looks like it. Flora's quite. It's in poor.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. But that looks like. I've never been. Why not? What's this?
It's my case file.
You mean to say you're bound? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comfortable.
I've never seen that. Looks fat.
여기도 뭐
Charming.
없네요.
Dear Flora.
Now it's owned by you.
The fellows and the pointers.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say. After they moved away, I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel.
That's kind of extreme.
There's something about Felix's painting. Something.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about the something.
Let's ask her about it.
오케이. 두 개 찾았다.
So, about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
당신은
It's
물감통이
not your
아니에요.
paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who would actually...
여기.
Let's take a closer look at this.
요거랑 똑같아요. 이거다.
Freya's blue paint pot is exactly the same as Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. Nope.
왜? 무늬 똑같잖아. 이거랑 무늬가 똑같잖아요.
Freya's blue paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it. Almost. Maybe just...
이거다 이거.
Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint is from Freya Supplies, not yours.
오케이.
Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are
들켰죠?
you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
이게 중요한 이유는
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood and emptied out onto the floor. Almost. Maybe just change. This red paint
이거다.
pot was somehow filled with
왜 이
blood
안에 피가
before Freya
들어있었죠?
used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely something. Right, fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had
프로젝트라고
run
얘기하기 너무
out
거창한
of
거
red
아니야?
paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know. Perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care.
하지만 신경 쓰지
So,
않았다. 그래서
well,
훔쳤다.
I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday. I needed red to paint the
생일
final
선물로 만들어준 거야
details.
이게.
Could you not have just used a different color?
Out of the question. It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
오케이. 이쪽은 일단 얘기 끝났고 이제 플로라에게 얘기해보죠.
So, this painting,
플로라.
specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
이건 칼이
It's
아니야.
not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the
이거
painting.
제가 초반부터
Something to
계속
explain
얘기했잖아요.
what
약간
that
새
knife
깃털일
shape
수도 있겠다고.
actually
왜냐면
is.
플로라가 새를 엄청 좋아하잖아. 그래서
That kinda makes sense.
이거 아니야? 설마?
That kinda makes sense.
설명할 수 있는 거?
Let's take a closer look at it.
그래, 여기 보면은 이거 똑같이 생겼어요. 이거 깃털. 이 그려진 칼이 실제로는 얼룩새의
The painted
것이었어.
knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and white too?
책 속 얼룩새도 빨갛고 하얀색이라는 걸 보여준 무언가가 이거.
That kinda makes sense.
이거 아니야? 그러면 이거.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a
이거,
model of
여기,
this
여기,
bird
여기.
as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
얼룩새는 플로라의 애완동물이어서 요거 안에
The ink dip bird
이거다.
was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather.
그 새가 혹시
I think it
돌아올까봐
was
계속
pretty
밖을 쳐다보고
important to
있는
her.
건가?
Alright, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally. This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
원래 이 안에다 보관했다가 이게 없어진 거 아닐까요?
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty. Flora?
뭐 얘기하나요? 드디어?
She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
방 안 구석에 무언가를 가리키고
It's just a
있다.
pile of books. They're not. Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
어! 플로라와 작은 새를 그린 그림. 뒤에 손으로 적은 메시지가 있다. 당신을 위한 거예요. 사랑합니다. 플레이야. 아, 프레이야가 그림 그려준 건가 봐. 여기 빨갛게 있네.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
새 관련된 거면 페니한테 가서 들이대보자.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
뭐 이게 끝이야?
Finally!
That's a very.
Only last week I
I'm
asked.
guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if instead she was quite accused me of being, you know, to a visitor, fresh eyes.
Not to you.
Try living in it. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest.
Well, but no. Any money left in the Pointer family.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less to be.
이걸 누구한테 들이대야 될까? 아빠한테 들이대봐야 되나?
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
새는 어떻게 됐죠?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
이러면
Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
It is a model of Freya.
And a man with a beard.
Why would my father... A wooden carving of my father, made by... Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint...
아, 또 제자리 걸음이네. 누구한테 들이대야 되지 이거를? 얘한테 들이대볼까요?
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the
메모도
back,
있어.
too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
다 보여주고 다녀보자.
How sweet. There's something I
Hit me.
noticed. From what we could tell, the blade went in at exact. And there's only one small pool of blood. The whole thing is just peaceful.
아, 뭐지? 고민 알 것 같다고?
Does
Don't think so.
I see. Tangle Tower. No idea why it's little more.
Have you?
I believe so.
He wants to know if you.
I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower. I was disappointed.
그쵸, 이 안에 누군가가 범인이야! 하루 종일 망원경 보고 있으니까
Yes,
알
very
수도
nice.
있지 않을까?
Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
So which one is Tangle?
What's that?
There are two towers, right?
Neither? You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a
With
result.
Felix, you mean?
No, her brother the Remington family was around. I don't.
아, 이거 다 보여줬는데.
You know the guy in the other tower?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
Anything we should know? Besides, we met Felix. He's one of our... So, if you...
Nice try.
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two
You
being...
never know.
We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything. I bet that really...
Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimoire, what could you
Oh
possibly...
no, I gave up making notes. Now I'm just Do you and Fitz have any
오선에
other
그냥
than your...
낙서하고 있대. 이 여자가 엄마인데 그 전혀 말을 안 한대요. 평소에도 말을 안 하고
We already solved it.
한마디를 안 하. 이거 왜 준 거지? 다 들이댔는데 아무것도 없는데요? 뭐 어쩌라는 거지 이거?
It's red. That's just red.
어쩌라는 거지? 그러게요. 천문탑? 아 이거 누르면 힌트가 나오는구나. 뭔가 하고 눌러봤는데.
A bell jar.
What do people...
Other than bells, you mean? It's tidier than the notebook.
So, even the most well-used notebook.
It's too...
It's also daytime. Pretty. What is it?
It's large.
You're not wrong. There's something kind of... I just
Does
expect...
it not compare to all the other trinkets?
They're clearly gizmo.
A spy
They're in very good condition. There's something kind... I just expect...
Does it not compare to...
뭘 살펴보라는 거지?
Every astronomy
I
tower?
want to try.
아 보이네.
It's the tower opposite this one.
It's that little plant Flora
Don't
keeps.
you think it would fall
Maybe it's
off?
glued down.
You can see right...
Not by
I can
accident.
see Flora, but she's not looking this Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. I can see the doorway. The door itself is on the floor.
Is that a window?
I
Is
think...
there another room?
We should check that next time we're over there.
아 위에 방이 있는 걸 찾아냈어요.
It's too dark back there.
I can just about see the...
Okay.
Isn't this supposed to be... I'm pretty sure you
I
need
can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
There's something about pointers, something.
Let's ask him about it.
근데 왜 플로라를 보고 있는 거야? 변태같이? 그죠? 약간
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy
천문학에 무엇이
exactly?
그렇게 흥미로우십니까?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider
그게
universe,
아니었어.
it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
당신은 사실 천문학에 전혀 관심이
You're not
없어요.
really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
That's not it. That's not it.
이거 플로라를 나타낼 게 뭐가 있지? 아 타워?
That's not it.
아닌데?
That's not it. That's not it.
아이고 다 찍어봐 다. 뭐 나오겠지 뭐.
That's not it.
다 찍어. 뭐
That's not
나오겠지.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
어차피 어차피 찍다 보면 나오겠지.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
아, 이거 황금 탁정벌레.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your
이
telescope so much.
대낮에
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
이거?
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at insects and not up at the sky. Almost. Maybe just...
이건가?
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the
이거였어요.
sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of what?
네.
Spying?
딱 걸렸죠?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly
맞네.
rare.
딱
Valuable
걸렸죠?
in ways you could never
프레야 이거
understand.
키우고 있었잖아.
Freya was always sneaking around. Both towers
근데
and
키우고
in the
있다는 건
gardens too.
모르고
She
정황을 찾으러
was
갔던
definitely
거지.
up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora?
하루 종일
You mean
들여다보고
Freya?
있잖아.
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark, and the telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
저 일단 다시 가봐.
Freya was definitely up.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check.
정원에 있는 동상.
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
Let's come back
어,
later.
이건 뭐야?
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy.
이거 아까
There's
없었는데?
a note.
What does it say? Grimoire?
어, 뭐라고 써져 있는데요? 제 새로운 친구입니다. 음악을 좋아하죠. 단순한 선율은 그의 영혼을 감동시킬 겁니다. 둘에게 행운을 빕니다. 프레이야. 어, 뭐야? 에?
What do you think?
How can it be?
프레이야 죽은 거
Why don't
아니야?
we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep it.
What about the little wooden...
Maybe we can put it to some kind of.
잠깐만. 피아노?
There's a name. You know. It's one of those big
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
얘한테 연주해달라고 해보자.
Yeah, it's mine.
순위로 들려줄
Can
수
you play the
있나요?
tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
됐다. 이거 뭔 모양이야? 오케이. 그 다음에
Oh, whatever it is.
Well, it is the music. Gotta practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
아니 이거 말고 그다음에 일로 가서 별말 아닌 거는 그냥 넘겨도 될 것 같아요.
The outline. There's a single. No real.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right
So?
up, so she was
Let's
probably.
check the case file again.
이거 아니고 여기에서 요거를 틀어요. 네, 추리하고 퍼즐 하는 게임. 요거 두 개 연주하면 되지 않을까?
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
오케이 오케이 콧노래. 그 다음에 요거.
It's piano music.
왜 이 연주는 등록 안 되지? 초반 부분 넘겨서 그런가?
It's piano music.
다른 연주가 또 뭐가 있지? 일단 여기 올라가 봅시다. 다락방.
It's a statue standing up straight.
You know, there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not stuffed. What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it. Just dusty junk. What is that?
Not sure.
Looks like it might attach to something.
뭔가 감겨 있어야 될 것 같이 생겼대요.
It's a jar. The head's
Huh. Just dusty junk.
Someone painted out the
Do you
window.
think it was done?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious. At least the moths are kept well fed. At least the moths are kept well fed.
Just dusty junk. Just dusty junk. It's a statue standing up
You know,
straight.
there's a name.
I
It's
know.
not quite as dusty. Also, it's not as stuffed.
그러니까 뭐가 채워져 있는데
It's a statue.
You know, there's
I know.
not. Also, it's stuffed.
Sally, you don't
No.
have to. Let me put it this way.
Nothing catching my
I'm
interest.
sorry. Is
Kind
this...
of.
이 하얀색은 뭘 덮어놓은 거죠?
Nothing
그림?
catching my interest.
Sorry.
Kind of. Nothing catching my.
Sorry.
Kind of.
Just dusty junk.
다 본 건가? 일단 다시 내려가서
We know a little
현장.
more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
The painted ink dip feather. Nope.
이거 아니야? 물감통 피.
Blood from the paint. Almost. Maybe just change. Blood from the paint. That's not right. Blood from the paint. That's not right either. Blood from the paint. That's not right either. Blood from the paint. That's not right either. Blood from the paint. Almost. Maybe just paint from the. That's not right either.
하나만 바꿔보라고?
Blood from the. That's not right either. Blood from. That's not right either. Blood from. That's not right either. Blood from the. That's not right either.
어?
Blood from the
아,
paint pot
이거네.
was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
왜?
Either it's a very strange
그러니까
coincidence,
왜 굳이
or
저걸
somebody set it up.
연상시키게 해갖고
Somebody
진짜
deliberately
피를 한
put
걸까?
blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The
뭐야,
angle of
당황한
Freya's
걸까?
wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line
그대로
with the
넘어진
painting.
것처럼 거죠?
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a
그럼
hole?
그치
Okay,
구멍이
well,
나왔어야 되는데.
how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
전혀 연관이 없다고? 넘어지면서 찔린 건가 그러면? 그러니까요. 이게 찔리면서 억 하고 넘어진 게 아니고 넘어져서 뭔가 찔린 거야 그러면?
Do you know what this is?
Guess not. There it is. The unfinished
So,
looks.
뭘까? 여기 가서 물어볼까? 이거 뭔지 아십니까?
What's this? Is it a clue?
모르네.
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
누구한테 물어볼까? 아빠한테 물어볼까? 이게 뭔지 아십니까?
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope.
That's the most depressing.
그쵸. 애매할 땐 피피. 제일 팩트만 얘기해주는 애니까 뭔가 알고 있을 수도 있어. 이거 뭔지
Is
알아?
this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it.
아,
And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
하하. 하하하. 그냥 농담한 거래요. 이거 아니면 새들 앉으라고 줄 묶고 뭐 이러는 건가?
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me three. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me.
그럼 얘가 알 수도 있어.
Where did you find this?
어?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
포피 뭐 아는 거 아니야? 더 얘기해봐. 그러려나? 해보고 안 되면 가보죠. 아, 모르네.
Maybe.
We have no idea.
어이, 이것에 대해 아십니까?
What is that?
I'm not sure.
Why don't you go back and double? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something.
I'm not so sure.
아, 뭐야 대체? 뭐야? 호수 가장자리?
It's a bandstand.
It's small for
It's
a
a
band.
one-man bandstand.
What?
Wind chimes, silent, wooden wind chime.
아, 새소리. 네, 이건 나중에 하자고 그랬어가지고.
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
잠깐 더 소리 날 데가 어디 있을까?
Ah, a little water.
It's making
Wonder
me-
how it's hooked up.
아, 물소리 아니네. 아, 물소리인가 하고 온 건데
little
물소리가
pond.
아니네요.
See those metal bars?
Yeah.
Nothing. Looks like somebody broke them and then never. That's one big
Or
drag.
one very small thing.
그럼 앞에 초인종 이거 종소리인가? 아, 맞네. 됐다.
That's all for
So,
now. Should
what-
we go back to the garden?
정원에서 저 하프 맞추면 될 것 같아요, 이제. 그치? 자, 일단은 초인종, 콧노래, 피아노 새소리.
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this.
초인종.
Nothing.
잠깐만, 뭐였지?
Nope.
뭐였죠?
I'm
잠깐만.
sure we can solve this now.
까먹었어. 잠깐. 다시. 초인종, 콧노래, 피아노 새소리 맞잖아. 아, 이 모양을 하는 건가, 설마?
Let's try this again. I'm sure we can
아,
solve
안
this
보여요,
now.
여러분? 잠깐만, 그러면. 잠깐만 내려놓고. 이 모양이거든요, 여러분? 초인종 콧노래 피아노 새소리는 맞는데 잠깐만.
This is
Do
some.
the plants all look a little... Let's try this again.
잠깐만, 이거 초인종 콧노래 피아노 새소리는 맞는데 요거 맞추라는 건가?
Nope.
초인종 피아노
Nope.
맞는데? 왜 안 되는 거지? 인크로된 게 힌트라고? 이거 초인종 맞는데? 뭐지?
Nope.
I'm sure we can solve this now.
잠깐만 다시 봅시다. 초인종 이거 콧노래 맞는데? 입술?
Let's try this again.
초인종, 콧노래, 피아노, 새소리 맞는데?
Nothing.
모양도 똑같은데?
That's gotta be.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
어, 뭐야? 아, 그냥 모양을 찾는 거였네.
Are we gonna go in?
Yeah, but there's a
그냥
couple of
모양을
things I
찾는
want
거였네요?
to do.
단서 수지 모든 용의자 혐의. 뭐야? 안 된 게 있네 아직? 아직 수집 못한 단서가 있나 봐요. 아니 아직도 덜 모았어? 그러게요. 아직도 덜 모았다고?
It's another little statue.
He's playing a lute.
He's also.
Well, they're not and they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
이건 있고.
More eggs.
I don't get
Well, either
What
the sculptor
do
was
you
just...
mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest. Giant stone.
Yeah, he's
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers. More egg statues.
I don't get it.
Well, either the sculptor was
What do
just...
you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape.
뭘까? 이 탐정하고 페니가 지금 혐의가 안 밝혀졌거든요? 이건 뭐야? 아, 이동 경로를 알려주는 건가 보다, 이거는. 일단 혐의 뭘 못 찾은 거지?
Check out that book.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
뭘 못 찾은
A little
거야?
writing down.
There's nothing written in the book.
Bird
They're
diagram.
beautiful. Someone.
And a
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
뭘 못 찾은 걸까? 다 물어봤고.
She's a most unsavory. She was incredibly rude.
Which part?
If I were her, I'd look at her. She looks like the... I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her.
Professor Pointer?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his
Ah.
responsibility. Did you not know that?
얘가
Can't say I've ever
불렀구나.
taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit. It's all just a little too
what
much.
do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 4? Okay, so what should I do with...
Don't look at me.
Oh, she's...
Wait,
Is that... Is that me?
약간 어지러운데? 다 물어봤는데?
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage. Does this count as
yeah. No, doesn't matter.
프레이야 방을 살펴보라고? 어?
a pillow with a paw?
It's a
print?
cushion.
Yeah, but that doesn't alliterate.
잠깐만.
Brushes.
They're clean, but they look pretty.
네, 지금
Not the
증거를
kind of
못
lamp.
찾은 게
Cool.
있어서
Looks like old
찾아야
wine.
돼요. 다 봤던 것 같은데 근데?
Just little trinkets.
Let's leave them alone.
Did Freya paint those
They're
animals?
kind of simple.
Maybe she painted them when she was younger. Do you think
I
this
don't know.
was- No windows either. It's a...
I think it looks more like
Fine,
a...
it's a...
Could also be a shark. Freya's bear.
Looks pretty...
He's had a rough couple of days.
Even though where... Someone's been tracking in mud from outside. Even though where... Someone's been tracking in mud from outside.
지능을 못
Brushes.
찾았다.
They're clean, but they look pretty.
Freya's plants. They must not need sunlight. Drawings.
What's that one on?
Looks like one of them's holding a red rose.
아, 포피와 피츠를 그린 그림인데 피츠가 빨간 장미를 들고 있고 피피를 그린 겁니다. 탐정도 그렸고.
There's something about those petals. Something.
Let's ask her about it.
가자.
So... Yeah.
혐의 조사
We found
5.
this.
퍼즐은 계속해서 조금씩 나와요.
That's nothing.
조사를 할 때마다.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
빨간 장미.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses. And who they belong to.
오케이. 방금 찾았죠?
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting.
얘랑 약혼했는데
It doesn't
포피랑
matter.
좋아하는 거야?
I
서로?
couldn't
설마?
have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those 2 bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
새들이?
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
페니는 어떻게 그리고 포피아 피츠를 엿보는데 사용했는데 성공하지
Copy and
못했다.
Fitz was used. Nope.
아니야?
Copy and Fitz. That's not right.
이렇게인가?
One of Penny's almost. Maybe just change. One of Penny's almost. Maybe just.
새 중 한 마리는 얘네들이 엿보는데 사용되었는데
One
주의를
of Penny's
돌렸다.
almost. Maybe just. One of Penny's
아, 이거다.
birds was used to spy on
그
Copy and
장미
Fitz and
꽃
steal
얘기하는 건가 봐요.
evidence from them.
이 증거가.
We know those two.
아니요,
have
아직
been spending time
범인인지는
together
몰라.
in the
그냥
rooftop
혐의가
garden.
있다고
I'm
얘기해보라고
guessing
하고 있는
you
거예요.
got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been
아,
in the rooftop
그래서
garden.
새 깃털이 있었던 거구나. 오케이. 이거.
Let's take a closer look at these.
템무라님 어서 오세요. 이 노란 거랑 얘랑.
This yellow feather
Okay.
was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
옥상 정원에 갔기 때문에 노란 깃털이 남은
Knowing
거죠.
the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
약간 좀 뭐시기 저시기한 상황이었구만요. 얘 혐의만 있으면 되는데.
When did Freya draw the picture of
I
you?
didn't model for her.
She must have done it
Could
without...
just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
Hi.
Is that a...
If it is, it's a clock.
Nope.
So moving any of the hands turns it's like cogs on a machine.
이게 올바른 위치가 뭔데? 아, 이건 12고 이건 뭔데 근데? 이건 9다. 12. 이건 뭐지? 6. 3.
Reset the puzzle.
잠깐만. 그럼 이거를 이렇게 하면 되는데 문제는 이걸 움직이면 얘가 움직인단 말이에요? 됐다.
No, that was it.
됐는데?
Nice work.
뭐야, 얼떨결에 맞췄어.
What's in the box?
A little tool, but I'm not actually sure what it is.
저기요. 이거
This
뭡니까?
belongs to you, Hawkshaw? What is it?
It's my handheld microscope.
그죠? 이거
For up-close
감는 거 저거랑
investigation
하면
work.
되는 거 아닌가?
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself.
황금 그거 찾고 있었나 봐. 저기요.
These were drawn by Freya. She must have
I
drawn them.
guess.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. You might know.
Well, it certainly. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
노래 녹음한 거 그 정원에 있는 여기 하프에서 통로를 열었어요. 근데 여러분 자꾸 방송을 바쁘신 분들은 어쩔 수 없긴 한데 중간중간 오셔가지고 자꾸 물어보면 제가 중간중간 계속 대답을 해드려야 되나. 방송 꾸준히 봐주실 수 있는 분들 꾸준히 봐주세요 여러분. 자꾸 중간에 오셔가지고 이건 뭐예요? 저건 뭐예요? 하면은 자꾸 끊겨 흐름이. 이거 유튜브에 올려드릴게요 여러분. 일단은 근데 이거를 어디다 들이대야 되지? 아니야. 지금 뭐 일하시느라 바쁘신 분들은 어쩔 수 없는데 자꾸 여러분들이 나갔다가 오신 분들은 본인이 나갔다 오신 건데 자꾸 저한테 중간중간 물어보시면 이거 게임 진행은 계속 해야 되는데 뒤로 가서 다시 설명해야 되고 이러면 좀 아니지 않나요? 유튜브에 올려드릴게요 여러분. 유튜브로 보세요. 그럼 채팅방에 계속 꾸준히 보시는 분들도 흐름 끊기고 이러니까 유튜브에 올렸어요. 어제 것도 유튜브에 올렸으니까 쭉 보셔서 이어서 보시면 될 거예요. 히오스요? 네, 많이 이겼습니다 오늘. 근데 이걸 어디다가 해야 되나? 역시 막혔을 땐 피피지. 피피 이거 찾았는데.
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective, and a drawing of This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
아깝다뇨.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh, yes. It has a telescopic
망원경?
lens. It
현미경이
can only be
아니었어.
used for looking at things that are far away.
이 자식 거짓말했어.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something.
Let's ask her about it.
이 자식 거짓말했어요. 드디어 찾았다. 그러게 현미경이라며. 거짓말했어.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
너 지금 이거 찾고 있는 거잖아.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
그러니까
Surely
거짓말이니까.
even you can understand
자식.
the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
이건 현미경이 아니야.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
현미경의 일부는 망원 렌즈야. 그러니
The
너가
handheld
거짓말한 거지.
microscope is a part of almost. Maybe just. The handheld
okay.
microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic
이
lens.
거짓말쟁이
So
자식.
Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you
왜
lie about owning a
망원경인데
telescope?
현미경이라 거짓말을 했지?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A
탐정이죠
detective,
당연히.
naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy.
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
어?
I harbored a desire to understand the
근데 왜
secrets
지금
of the wider
탐정하고 있어?
universe. A fool's errand, to be
그러게
sure,
근데 말 돌리네.
but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence
빨리
to the world
얘기해.
around me. And so, I became a
이유가
detective.
뭐야?
But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way
그래서
off track.
소형
What's the
망원경하고
deal with the
무슨
little telescope?
상관이냐고.
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
어?
Are we done?
For now, it's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
얘가 근데 좀 불쌍한 게 천문학자인 줄 알고 포인터가 천문학자인 줄 알고 왔는데 근데 얘 천문학자 아니었잖아요. 그냥 플로라를 보고 있었던 거잖아. 나름대로 불쌍하네. 일단은 다 했으니까
Where do you
보자.
think it goes?
Down.
밑으로. 어. 지하. 뭐야 이거?
It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. It looks like the liquid is ice cold.
뭐야?
A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects. I can't.
I like that you called them rooms.
What's in there?
신기한 애들이 있어요. 보석같이 생긴
9
애들.
beetles.
Poor little guys.
And there's a bunch of notes, mostly numbers. No idea what they
숫자가 써져 있다.
It's a little diagram of a beetle.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really compared to the beetles behind the glass.
그리고 얘네들은 다 화려하고 보석 같은데 얘는 좀 일반적이네요.
9 beetles.
Poor little guy.
There's a bunch. It's mostly numbers. 9 beetles.
Poor little
There's a bunch. It's mostly numbers. 9 beetles.
little
There's
guy.
it's mostly
나머지
numbers.
Bugs.
Looks like they're made of metal. A candle.
Very medieval.
I was thinking.
Medieval pirates. What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
이건 뭐야?
Is that a periodic?
No, but it does kind
What are
of.
those?
They're alchemic symbols, mostly based on the planets, the sun.
Huh.
연금술?
Reminds me of the chart from
The one from the chalkboard.
Yeah. This looks like.
Didn't we see those same symbols in the Greek?
좀 약간
It's so dark in here,
진해를
tell what I'm
만들어
looking
놨나
at.
봐요.
Rows of plants. Growing.
What color is the
It
soil?
looks black, but it's too dark.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it?
어,
Weird looking
I'm
safe.
pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
일단 이으라는 건데 더 안 내려오는데? 이어지는 게 얘밖에 없는데 얘가 여기서 막혀요. 그래서 얘를 일로 내려야 될 것 같은데 더 안 내려가지네? 그쵸, 맞아요. 지금 우리가 이걸 하면서 알 수 있는 정보는 길을 이어서 얘를 열로 이으라는 것 같은데 어떡해? 이렇게 하는 건가? 여기서 이렇게 이어지고 그 다음에 여기서 이렇게 이어져서 뭐 없는데 뭐가? 지금 보면은 요거를 이어야 되잖아요. 그럼 요 줄에서 길을 찾아야 되는 건데 이어지게 최대로 꽂는 게 여기야. 그래서 여기서 이렇게 이어가지고 보면은 또 이 줄을 이어야 되잖아요. 이 줄 있는 게 이거야. 그래서 뽑아보면은 최대한 뽑으면은 이거밖에 안 되고. 이렇게 중간에 끊어지던 덮으라는 게 무슨 말이에요? 끊어지던 덮으라고? 이거? 아, 요거랑 이으라고? 어? 그러네? 그래도 길이 되네? 그럼 여기서 이어서? 이렇게 얘기하는 거죠? 그럼 여기서 뽑아서 이렇게 하고 잠깐만. 다 뽑으면은 맞아, 얘는 고정인데.
새로운 쑥떡은 언제나 환영이야.
44.
달콤 땡큐. 구독갱신 감사합니다. 여기서 이렇게 출발해서 이렇게 오고 여기가 문제인데? 이건가 보다. 이거네.
Oh, that was it.
됐다. 아, 오케이.
Nice work.
굿, 굿.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
비밀 연구물. 우리 고유의 동식물은 아직 알려지지 않은 수많은 화학 물질의 부산물이다.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
요거 아니야?
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who is he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
나비?
The golden beetle. Nope.
아니네.
The golden beetle. That's not right.
그러면은 번식시키려고 했던 거 맞는 거 같은데? 얼룩새?
The golden beetle. That's not right either. The ink dip. Almost. Maybe just... A butterfly. Almost. Maybe just... A feather. Almost. Maybe just...
아,
Pointer
그러네.
has been...
Why? Because it's rare?
맞네, 맞네.
Because it's gold?
Is
금이니까.
that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty...
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya.
아,
after
여러분들
all.
방송
We know she
집중하고
was trying to
있는지
get through the
보려고.
secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
뭐야, 지하철 또 있어요. 넘어갑시다. 뭐야, 여기가 제일 아래층이래.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly...
2 cloaks and a green hat draped on.
Basements don't normally...
We're at the bottom of the lake. It must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed...
Like what?
White, no
Smooth.
plants. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
A single book.
This is creepy.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
어린이용 책.
We're too late. This photograph.
Why?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
이거 그거다. 이 감개 있는 거. 이거네. 이거죠, 금속 막대. 이것도 끊어져 있어.
So what's the photo?
이거 플로라인가 봐. 그죠?
Do you know who it is in the photo? There's a roll of paper.
I'll see
Let
if
me
I can-
guess.
지도인데?
Hold on. Have we been to all of these rooms already? Storage.
It's Freya's room.
Study.
연구실?
Wait.
I know what you're thinking. I know. We know.
How did we miss it?
연구실?
This seems pretty...
Agreed.
So,
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom. not
그러게요.
like
아래로 내려왔는데
Why
왜
is there a room
밝아?
down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
그러게
It
호수
is
아래
now,
뭔가 있나
yeah.
봐요.
Maybe we're too late.
This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
That's not right.
이건가
That's
보다.
not right.
아니야?
That's not right.
이건가?
That's not right. That's not
사진
right.
속의 남자를 묘사한 거?
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is. Lord Remington.
Remington. That
Flora
makes him
아빠.
Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
근데 왜 저기다가 쏴놨을까?
Let's head back. I want to find that black.
연구실 찾아보죠. 그랜드홀. 여기서 올라가는 거네.
It's dark all of a
How
sudden.
long were we down there?
This must be...
How are we supposed to get...
Hang on, but I think there's a switch.
어! 진짜
A
내려왔어.
ladder.
Want to go up?
숨겨진 심장부.
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
어. 이거 그거네. 그림. 이거네. 이거야, 이거. 그죠? 그리고 여기 있는 거는 이거고.
Centipede? How many legs?
Too many.
Who are all
뭐야?
the people in this?
Not
왜
sure,
근데
but it looks like someone didn't like... Their eyes have all been crossed out.
미스티드 저택의 대표자들인데 왜 까맣게 잉크칠이 되어 있지?
That photo is important, I'm sure.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent...
Also, crabs... Ugh. You sure?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
I guess
I don't think we need to
What
get...
do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file. This crab really reminds...
little wooden-
Yeah, but I think I've seen it more recently.
장난감 맞아. 장난감 개 있잖아 우리.
Is that a crab?
It's got a...
Also, crab...
열려 있고 이렇게. 응?
I guess
I
that's...
don't think we need
What do
to.
you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case.
이거 아래로 이렇게 해서 있는 거 아니야?
Nothing.
I'm sure I've seen this thing somewhere before.
Nope.
Wasn't this
The
crap?
children's book?
This
아,
crowd
어린이용
really- Yeah,
책에
but I
있다고
think I've seen it
장난감이
more
아니고?
recently.
잠깐만. 여기 있다. 아, 이거였어요. 이거네, 이거. 하! 이러고 있는 자세. 하! 이렇게.
They called this
What would you call it?
of Doom. Is that a crab?
It's got a tree.
Also, crab.
약간 이렇게 해갖고 하! 이러고 있는 거. 자, 여기가 뭐였지?
I guess
I
that's...
don't think we need to
What do you
get.
mean?
We have all the information we need in our.
Nothing.
I'm sure I've seen this thing somewhere.
이게 여기가 뭐였지, 이거는?
Nope.
Wasn't this
The
crap?
children's book?
이렇게 왔어?
Nope.
Wasn't this
The
crab?
children's book?
This crab really.
The-
Yeah,
I
I think I've seen it more recently.
다시 봐. 아, 하! 하는 자세로 11시.
Is that a crab?
It's got a tree.
Also, crabs... Perfect.
오케이. 하! 이런 자세. 어? 석궁?
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
아, 아니네. 이거네. 여기에 연결돼 있던 거를 찾았다. 우리 석궁을 다 찾았어요. 이 감개랑 이 금속 막대랑 석궁. 찾네.
What is it?
Was someone trying to hide it?
근데
From
무게가
us?
왜 있어?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already. I think that might have, but not this part of the crop.
어, 잠깐만. 아, 이건가 봐. 아!
What do you make of it?
Not sure.
그럼 그 탐정이 저걸
Let's
왜
keep
갖고
an
있었어?
open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery. Coffee table, I'm gonna say...
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
다섯 번째 대표자를 찾았다, 드디어. 그다지 기대하지 않았지만 역시 실망하고 말았다. 음악실로 데려갔는데 성공적이었대요.
An axe and some kind of...
Honestly,
I'm more worried about the third
the
one.
third
The
one?
one that isn't there.
An incinerator still pretty
Is
hot.
there anything
It's
left?
mostly ashes, but yeah, there's something.
불에 탄 물건들. 어, 여기 깃털이다. 새 깃털. 새
Someone's
깃털이
been using
있어.
this room. I don't get it. This room is in the... But nowadays, it's some big...
It's not a secret to at least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be
우리
impossible,
있잖아,
you know.
이미. 이거는 이거고 이거는 이거야.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches... Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure.
퍽이나
I still
얘기해주겠다
don't know
하면.
what's really going on.
이 상태로 가서 얘기하면은 우리가 널 의심하고 있으니까는 변명할 거리를 대비해놔라. 약간 이러는 거밖에 안 되잖아, 그죠?
Time to solve this.
살인.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it
사건
wasn't
현장에서
found anywhere
발견되지도 않고
near the
피도 안
crime
묻어
scene.
있는데.
Mm-hmm. It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
프레이야의 위에서 쐈어.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
대각선으로
The arrow was fired diagonally.
Is that right?
I might need to rethink that.
아니야?
It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the
그러면은
painting.
얘가 이미 누워 있었나 봐.
Right.
그런가 봐요.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
의식이 없는 상태였어.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
축음기?
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
축음기
There
안에
was
뭐가
something in the
있었어.
gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
축음기 안에 이거 탄 물건?
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
뭐가 있었을까?
That's not it.
딱정벌레 때문에 기절했나?
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss. when
진짜
it feels
딱정벌레네요?
threatened.
헐.
Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No. I don't
아 근데
think so.
키웠다고
Not by
했으니까
itself. But don't
무서워했을 리는
forget,
없는데.
it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. I don't think we're purely talking about volume either.
아
It might just
주파수.
be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't. But I think someone else
그런가 봐요.
does.
무슨
Do
특정
you
주파수
remember that
같은 거
statue we
듣고
found in
확
the music
기절했나
room?
봐.
The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science
아 누가
experiment.
미리 실험을 해본
Thinking
거라고
about
이거로.
it. Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise. Although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass
그래서
through Flora's
플로라도
tower.
넘어진 거지.
Caused quite a bit of damage too.
이거 물감도 넘어져서
Those cracks
깨졌잖아.
didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful
근데 저게
vibration.
다 와장창
Enough
깨질
to crack
정도면은
metal.
금속에
Enough to knock
금가게 할
someone out all the way
정도면
across a room.
Yeah, that's the
너무
one thing I don't
세게-
get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
나 이거 범인 누군지 알 것 같아. 아니다. 범인을 알 것 같은 게 아니고 그거네 님들. 그 개구리 동상에 귀마개 있다고 했었잖아요. 그러니까 범인인지 확실히는 모르겠는데 그 온실에 있는 피츠 귀마개를 누가 가져와서 쓴 거야.
They protected themselves.
How?
그걸 쓰고 버린 거지. 그거를
These are
주워다가
some pretty
여기다가
heavy-duty
걸어놓은
earmuffs.
거고.
I think they'd be
그래서
enough to block out
그치?
the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start.
아 그럼 범인은
One,
아니겠지
Freya
설마?
is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the
피츠가
gramophone.
범인은 아니겠죠?
2. The murderer is
잃어버렸다고
hiding in the
그랬으니까?
attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
Not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
아니 청각장애가 있는 사람은
6.
없어.
The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
귀마개
7.
쓰고
The
그런
murderer
건가 봐요.
leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering
What?
me. I just want to check. Let's go back to the crime scene. The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
탄투마미카 열매만 먹는다.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
여기 하나 더 있었어. 여기 하나 더 있었어요. 근데 없어 지금 여기에는.
I can see the stars.
이걸 어떻게 해야 되지 근데?
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
여기 보면은 하나 더 있잖아 이게. 근데 지금 보면은 이거밖에 없어. 이걸 어떻게 해야 되지?
It's dark.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink-dipped feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
아 깃털 어디 갔냐고? 다른 곳에
Found somewhere
찾았잖아.
else.
그 재에서 발견했잖아요.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene.
이걸 왜
And
훔쳤을까?
ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
아 그러네.
So the
다락방에
question
있었잖아.
is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here. It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas. That's not it.
그림 그릴 계획?
That's not it.
계획? 아 이거 복합 팔레트.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before
모든
she
색깔을
started
미리
painting.
준비한다 그랬었어.
Brown and gray paint, almost. Maybe just brown and gray. Nope. Brown and gray. That's not right.
이거 맞지 않아요?
Brown and gray. That's not right either. Brown and gray. That's not right either.
이걸 얼룩사가 떨어뜨린 건 아니잖아, 화분은.
Brown and that's not right either. Brown and that's not right either.
아니 뭔데요?
Brown and gray. That's not right either. Brown and gray. That's not right either.
아닌가?
Brown and that's not right either. Brown and that's not right either.
뭐지? 아, 이게 맞는지 아닌지 보여주는 거구나, 힌트가. 잠깐만, 그러면 이거 갈색과 회색 물감은 맞니? 이거 갈색과 회색 물감도 아니네요? 잉? 요것만 맞다. 이 스케치는 맞네. 노란 물감이구나.
The yellow paint
이거네.
was going to be used to paint.
근데 이게
this
노란색이야. 여기
sketch
노란색
of
아닌데 이건 좀
something
약간
sitting in the
이상하다.
window.
Something in the
노란색
window.
아닌데요.
Oh.
그림에 있는 것도.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
진짜? 아, 이건가?
That's not it.
아닌데? 추금기?
That's not it.
새구나.
There she
맞네.
is.
그래서 그런가 봐요.
Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the
She
whole...
did,
어머, 깜짝이야.
but she's a very good listener. Well, now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
뭐야, 누구세요?
Penny, why did
Oh,
you...
뭐야?
Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin,
뭐야?
isn't there a certain formality
뭐야,
demanding our
소름.
attention?
일단
I'm
나도 봐.
afraid I have to insist. It's to the benefit of us all, I assure you.
아니, 완전 싹 바뀌었어요. 뭐야?
Lovely. Now, tell me,
아, 손 묶어야
what
되는구나.
was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
I just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So,
근데 왜?
you just hated her
왜? 대체
indiscriminately?
왜?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a
나
disguise
진짜
too?
약간 소름 돋았어요. 뭐야?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
외로운
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all.
She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other two Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that. I wanted to know if I belonged with
그건 또
them.
무슨 소리야?
I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
뭘 찾았는데? 연구실?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something.
그리고 약간 사이코 같아요. 얘 지금. 약간 무서워. 아니 약간
Eventually, I
무서워.
couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
What?
As I expected. After all, their connection to the Freya case is minimal, at least at the surface.
Sorry, what are we
무슨
talking about?
얘기하는 건데?
It's a collective term, from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait,
돌연변이?
misted.
Egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out.
약간 공포
Quite a
게임처럼
few
흘러가는
got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
연구실에서 찾은 거? 이거 얘기하는 건가?
That's not it.
뭐 얘기하는 거지? 아, 메모판?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
이건 이 아니고. 연구실에서 찾은 거?
That's not right.
연구실에서 찾은 거?
That's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
이것도 아니고 이것도 아니라 그랬고 이건가?
The 5 missing
아.
family members standing together as a single
그러게요.
unit,
저거 하나 빼고 다
calling
눌렀네.
themselves the ambassadors of a misted mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of misted mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era, denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe.
아 그래서 다섯 번째를
maybe
찾았다
they'd
뭐
share
이렇게
the
얘기하는
family
건가
history
봐.
that
메모에.
Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts. The creatures themselves, all lost. Taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And what happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5, completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the post.
이걸 발견한 거지.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft.
그냥
In an
바로
effort to calm
믿었네.
the private
그치?
detective,
슬쩍
he
얘기한
jumped
건데.
on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly,
아
but
이게
still.
코드였구나.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even
호수가
a
되기
lake,
전에
Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator.
아,
However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not
놓친 건데.
much, but I have what I need.
So why
아,
isn't this the
연구실에서
end of the
발견한
story?
그것들이 자기가 필요했던
Why
거다
did you
그거지.
stay?
걔네들이 놓쳤다는
Why
거.
did you kill Freya?
프레이야 펠로우의 유언. 그러니까 왜 죽인 거야? 본인이 찾는 거랑 그거랑 뭔 상관이야?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
이거 얘기하는 건가?
That almost, but it's not right.
빨간 그림? 아, 이거?
That's right.
아.
I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from
아, 이게
Freya's
머리야, 그러면?
recurring nightmare. For all her vitality,
뭔가 빨간
I think
산이라고
Freya was
생각했는데.
probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona.
아.
The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her.
어?
We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all 3 families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona
근데 왜
from the
이렇게 피어난데
shackles of her
집착한 거야?
inheritance.
왜?
That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
본 거지.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be
일부러
unconscious,
기절시키려고 그랬던
then she wouldn't
거구나.
have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not
그러게,
take
왜
your
안
first
떠나고?
chance and leave?
Ah, well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still
아직
here?
있다고?
It's still inside the gramophone.
안 돼! 그럼 우리도 의식을 잃잖아. 헐. 헐, 우리 배 끊고 도망갔어.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What
You were
happened
both
to it?
unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When she had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her.
아.
Apparently they were pretty close to solving it
아, 근데 왜
themselves.
얘기 안 했어?
Fitz did not want to believe us because he liked Penny a lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What?
Huh?
Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have
그러게
Penny's
새
hat?
모자는 왜
bird?
안고
She
있어?
left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary. Oh, poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion.
So, Penny got
도망간
away.
거야?
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge.
근데
I proved to be an ineffective guard.
아.
She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle
대기했지만
with her?
놓쳤다.
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
어, 대박.
What are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
아, 이거 약간 일단은 네. 아주 왜 이렇게 근데 끝이 찝찝한데요? 이거 뭐 범인 잡은 것도 아니고 뭐 그렇다고 해서 오늘 약간 찝찝하다 결론이. 이거 뒤에 쿠키는 없죠 님들? 아 일단은 탱글타워였고요. 뒤에 쿠키가 없죠 여러분? 되게 빨리 끝나네. 안녕 황금풍뎅이. 아 이렇게 여기서 다시 볼 수 있고 아 일단은 네 탱글타워 엔딩을 봤네요. 오늘 못 보면 어쩌나 했는데 다행히 봤어요. 일단 게임이나 뭔가 단서를 찾아가고 퍼즐을 푸는 것은 너무 재밌었는데 결론이 상당히 찝찝한데 일단은 네 녹화는 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 유바 찝찝한데 약간 뭐지?